Hey everyone, before I get into my actual video, I want to go over the 4 takeaways that I really want you to learn from this video. So number 1 is you always want to measure your results for your SEO campaign. One of my favorite tools is the Google Search Console. It's completely free, and really you need to use Google Analytics and Google Search Console so you can monitor the traffic that's going to your website, specifically from search engines. Now, one of the main things you need to do is keyword research. I like to use the Google Keyword Planner. So if we open up the Google Keyword Planner and we're just looking at an example for my website, beachfrontdecor.com, I enter some of these main keywords here. I click on Get Results. It's going to give me all these keywords. These are the keywords I need to create content around. So the more content I have on my website that's really focused on these keywords, the better my website is going to rank in Google and other search engines, which is going to help me drive more and more traffic back to my website. So focus on creating a lot of content and focus on these main keywords that are going to be the most relevant for the products and services on your website. Now, once you've done your keyword research, you have a keyword list all ready to go. You're ready to move on to the next couple of steps. So you want to make sure you're planning and creating content. I recommend creating a content calendar and creating a keyword map. I'll go through both of these in this video. And then you want to constantly create and improve your content. So once you plan, you want to create and then you want to improve. So the 4 biggest takeaways: making sure you're measuring, making sure you're doing keyword research, and making sure you're planning content and creating content constantly. Because what you want is to eventually come up with a list of blog posts. So we're in the back end for Beachfront Decor right now. I have 245 blog posts published. You should probably have even more and more. I should have more on this website. The more that I publish and the higher quality each blog post is, the higher my rankings go in Google and the more clicks and impressions I drive back to my website. So even if we're just looking at March, you can see in March, 357 clicks in a day. If we come over here, you can see over 1,000 clicks in a day. Up here, over 1,600 clicks in a single day. So this isn't even a ton of search engine traffic, but just based on the work that I've put in, it's really about focusing on these main search queries, which are going to be linked back to your keyword research, and it's also going to be driven because of the content that you're creating on your website. So now let's get into the video. What's up everyone? Welcome to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going over search engine optimization. So it's going to be my SEO tutorial for beginners. I'm going to go through my step-by-step process, and I'm going to actually show you how I plan to increase my organic search traffic to my website, wickerguide.com. So if you watched my Amazon affiliate marketing tutorial and how to create Amazon affiliate marketing websites, this is the actual website that I made during that tutorial. So I'm going to show you how I plan to increase traffic to that website directly from search engines. And again, it's really going to go step by step. So I recommend following each individual step. Now, if you're just getting started with SEO and you're looking for more background information into everything I talk about, I do have a complete video series, SPPC SEO Tutorial for Beginners, where I go over a lot of the different things you need to know when you are getting started with SEO. Now, if you're not familiar with what SEO is, or search engine optimization, essentially it's the process of optimizing your website and creating content on your website so that you can drive organic search traffic from search engines like Google. So for example, if I go to Google and I just search wicker furniture and I click on this top result here, wickerparadise.com, and I open up the website, they're driving organic search traffic, and they're probably getting a lot of organic search traffic, especially if they're ranking this high for a keyword like wicker furniture. So that's the ultimate goal, is to rank high for a lot of different keywords that are going to be relevant for our website, our products, and our services. So with that being said, we're going to get into 7 different SEO best practices, and essentially it's going to be the process that I'm going to go through as I go through this video. Okay, so we'll get started with 7 SEO best practices, and I'll share this infographic that I'm going through right now. I'll share it in the video description so you can easily find it. But if we pull this up, you can see, first, I always get started by measuring results and doing keyword research. So those are the first 2 steps. I like to use tools like Google Analytics, Google Search Console. You can use Bing Webmaster Tools. There's a lot of paid tools as well. For example, you can use something like SEMrush as you start to grow your website. Now, keyword research, I recommend using a tool like the Google Keyword Planner. Now, again, I'm going to go through all of this in the video, but I just want to go over kind of an overview of what I'll be going through. Or you could use other free keyword research tools to find keywords for your business. Now, if we pull this up a little bit, planning and creating content, and then constantly improving your content. So I can't stress the 2 of these enough. So after you do your keyword research, what you want to do is actually plan the content that you want to create, and you can do that by creating a content calendar. and then constantly improving content. So once you publish something, you always want to keep it improved, and you want to make sure that everything is up to date, relevant, comprehensive, and informative. So all of that is really important for the success of your content in search engines. Now, if we keep coming up, marketing your content and optimizing your website. So my main strategy usually is to build a social media audience and to build an email list. Now, it could also be helpful if you have your own following that you can share things to with people that might follow you on Twitter or might follow your LinkedIn page or anything like that. If you have an audience of people that are interested in the content you're creating, then you already have a group of people that are going to be more likely to read the things that you're writing. Now, that takes time. It's going to take time to constantly build content and to build that audience. Next is going to be optimizing your website. So not only do you need to focus on the engagement on each individual page on your website, but you also want to focus on the overall structure of your website, the architecture, the speed. So it should be just very easy to use. That's the best way to boil it down. Your website should be easy to use so anybody could visit your website and easily find your content and not have any issues with using your website, whether they're on any device. Now, last but not least is building natural backlinks. So the best backlinks are built when someone actually just goes out of their way to link to your content. You don't pay for backlinks, you don't pay for guest posts, anything like that. If you're ever paying for a backlink or you're paying for something like 100 or 1,000 backlinks at a time, that's not the natural way to build backlinks. The best thing you can do is create content that other people want to link to. So that's ultimately the goal with building backlinks. But truthfully, my main focus is always on creating content. So keyword research, planning and creating content, and constantly improving content are the 3 steps that I focus on the most when it comes to SEO. Okay, so let's get started with step 1. And step 1 is going to be to measure results. So you want to make sure that you know the overall impact of your SEO campaign, how much traffic you're driving from search engines, so you can take into account how successful your campaign has been. Now, my method for tracking how well my search engine optimization campaign is going is by using a combination of tools. I like to start with Google Tag Manager. With Google Tag Manager, that allows me to install Google Analytics. And with Google Analytics, I can also use Google Search Console. So I like to use these 3 tools. This is also referred to as Google Webmasters because they are all completely free and allows me to see how much traffic I'm actually driving from Google. The other tool that you can use that's completely free is Bing Webmaster Tools. Now, I would recommend using all 4 of these tools and getting started with them. If you're not sure how to get started with installing them, I would recommend checking out my video, how to install Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, and Google Search Console on a WordPress website. Now, I'll go over it pretty briefly here, but if we come over to my website, I'm using WordPress. So what I've done is I've installed a WordPress plugin. It's called Head, Footer, and Post Injections. So with this plugin, again, this is completely free as well. With this plugin, I'm able to install Google Tag Manager. So if we come over here and we open up Google Tag Manager, I'll put all of these links in the video description so you can easily find them. What you want to do is start for free. You can use your Google account for Tag Manager, Analytics, and Search Console. They're all completely free to use. So you can start for free, or for me, I'm just going to sign into Tag Manager. And what you can see here is these are all the accounts that I already have. So if I come over here and click on wickerguide.com, then I can open up my Tag Manager. And if we come over to tags, you can see I have my Google Analytics tag installed. Now, what I've done to install Google Tag Manager on my website is you come over to admin, and what you want to do is under container, you're going to click on install Google Tag Manager, copy this code, paste this code as high underneath the head of the page as possible, so underneath the head tag of the page. So with that, we can use the head, footer, and post injections and put this right here in the head tag, page and section injection on every page. So we added that piece of code there. And then there's a second piece of code that you want to add after the opening body tag. So you want to add that for desktop and mobile. So what we're going to do is come back over to Tag Manager, and you can see you want to put that piece of code immediately after the opening body tag. Now with that, what we're able to do is in Tag Manager, we can install our tag for wickerguide.com. So we go to tags, we can click on this Google Analytics. We have our Google Analytics tag installed. So we're able to sign into our Google Analytics account here, and you can see that right here. So since this is a brand new website, since I haven't really published much content at all, I have no audience, really nobody is going to this website yet. So that's hopefully what we're going to be able to change as we start to build our content. Now, last but not least, what you want to do is install Google Webmasters, aka Google Search Console. And with this, we can sign in. So we're going to sign in and look at our account. So you can see wickerguide.com. So 11 total web search clicks, only 16 valid pages indexed so far. So obviously we have a lot of work to do. And then last but not least, what we want to do is install Bing Webmaster Tools. So with Bing Webmaster Tools, you can enter a site URL, or since we're already verified on Google Search Console, we're going to import our website directly from Google Search Console. So we're going to click to continue to Search Console. And what you can see here is there's 3 new sites linked to my Google Search Console account that I haven't imported into Bing Webmaster Tools yet. So we're going to import these now. Okay, congratulations, you've successfully imported 3 sites from my Google Search Console account. We can click on done. And now we're ready to go. So we can find our websites here. Again, I'm not getting a ton of search traffic from a lot of these websites yet, so it's not something I need to worry about too much right now. You really just want to get started so you can measure results, so you can actually view how many search clicks you're driving using Google Search Console. With Google Analytics, we can go into acquisition and look at overview and see where our traffic is coming from. So if we go to acquisition overview, you can see we're getting mostly just direct traffic, which is probably just me. And then right here with organic search, we've had 1 user from organic search. So I don't expect to drive a lot of organic search traffic yet. Again, it's not going to happen right when you set up your website. You need to create high quality content around your top keywords. So the next step in this is going to be keyword research. But before I go through that, one thing I want to go through is one thing I like to do is create SEO benchmarks. So you can see I've done this for beachfrontdecor.com, and you can see I'm using 3 sources: Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and Bing Webmaster Tools. I'm looking at 8 total metrics: the total value of my organic search traffic, total conversions it's driven, total traffic, clicks from Google Search Console, impressions from Google Search Console, my click-through rate from Google Search Console, so my total click-through rate looking at impressions and clicks in Google, my total clicks from Bing Webmaster Tools, and then my total index pages for Google Search Console. So you can look at this on a monthly basis, and then as we scroll down, you can see a yearly benchmark. So essentially what I expect for the average month over the course of a year, a 6-month benchmark, so how well everything has gone over the last 6 months, and then a 3-month benchmark. So you can see my highest right now is the 6-month benchmark. If I look at my past 6 months of data, it's giving me my best data in terms of clicks and overall value. So using benchmarks, you're able to tell if you're driving more conversions, more search engine traffic, and just more total value from Google Analytics. And you can use these 3 completely free tools to track everything that's happening on your website and where your traffic is coming from. I'm going to share this entire spreadsheet. So this spreadsheet will be linked in the video description. It'll also be linked in the top comment. And I'm going to go through a few other things in this spreadsheet, such as a competitive analysis, a content calendar, a keyword map. So I'm going to go through all of this. Now the benchmarks are for beachfrontdecor.com because I don't have any benchmarks for wickerguide.com. It's just essentially all zeros. And then competitive analysis is actually for farmhousegoals.com. Now, if you're interested in learning more about how I put together this competitive analysis, what I would recommend doing is checking out my free SEO competitive analysis and competitor keyword research tutorial. Again, this is how I do competitive analysis, and essentially I use SEMrush, and you can use Moz Domain Authority, and then I also use the Google Keyword Planner. For SEO benchmarks, if you're interested in putting together SEO benchmarks in how I value my overall SEO campaign, I've also created a video for this as well, and this is a separate video, 8 important SEO benchmarks to monitor monthly. So some different monthly statistics that you can keep track of. This was the 3rd video I did in my SEO series. So you can look at my benchmark spreadsheet, and you can also watch the video to find out how to create benchmarks, how to keep track of your monthly benchmarks, and then how to put together a competitive analysis that's actually going to show you how to find top keywords that your competitors are ranking for and keyword gaps where you're not ranking but your competitor is. So that's where I'd recommend getting started. That's going to be step number 1. Step number 1, install Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and Bing Webmaster Tools so you can keep track of your overall SEO campaign. So that's going to bring us into step number 2, which is going to be keyword research. So for steps 2 and 3, it's really about coming up with a keyword list and then generating content ideas from that keyword list. So they're really going to go hand in hand with each other. I prefer to use the Google Keyword Planner when it comes to any of my keyword research. If you're interested in other ways to do keyword research and other free keyword research tools, I put together an article with the 14 best free keyword research tools for 2020. If you scroll down, you can see the list right here. So these are some of the different things that you can try. Some of these are freemium tools, so they only offer so much with their free version. But really, in my opinion, nothing beats the Google Keyword Planner. So if we come over here, what I recommend doing is just coming right in here to discover new keywords. You can start with keywords, or you can start with a website. Usually what I'll do is I'll start with keywords, and you can enter up to 10 keywords here. So I just come in here and I do the different products that are going to be on my website. So I want to make sure I understand exactly what people are typing into the Google search engine when they're looking for products related to wicker. So what I can do is I can just enter the keyword wicker. We can do wicker furniture. I'll do wicker baskets. I can do something like wicker chairs. I could do wicker tables. So basically what I want to do is pull the most popular keywords related to wicker. Now, if you're not sure where to start, one thing you can do is just go directly to Google and use Google Autocomplete. So what that means is you go directly to Google, you type in a keyword, you're going to see wicker, wicker furniture, wicker patio furniture. So there might be some here that aren't as relevant. So this is an actual movie. So you just need to keep that in mind. People are going to be searching for different terms that might seem like they're similar to what you're offering, but obviously this is not. So wicker chair. So I could do wicker chair cushions. And what I can do is just wicker cushions. You could see wicker rocking chair, wicker bar stools. So I'll enter all those different keywords here. We'll do wicker cushions. We'll do wicker rocking chair. And we'll do wicker bar stools, and that should be a good start for us. So generally what I do is I'll do a search like this and we'll get results. Okay, so this is what my search looks like. You can see there's search volume trends right here. We're seeing a pretty big spike in May 2020 right now. So hopefully by next year, because you should have an understanding of search volume trends for whatever business it is you're in. But if you can see here, you can look at the last 12 months. So if I just look at all available data, we go all the way back to June 2016, and now we're up to May 2020. You can see it's been growing. So wicker is growing. That's always a good sign. Kind of stable the last couple of years, but you can see some big growth right here. Now you can see wicker is very seasonal. So I'm making this video in June right now. June actually looks to be the peak month for wicker. So keeping that in mind, I need to have an understanding that the work I do basically from June through December, through February, as things start to pick back up next year, I should be able to have my rankings much better than they are right now. So it's going to help me really see the impact of my work by next summer. So that's something to keep in mind is overall search volume. I actually don't worry too much about the total search volume. You can see here, this is over 1 million. If it was over 500,000, I think I'd be fine with that. So there's always going to be plenty of searches, usually if you're picking any type of niche that's not really too small. So something like wicker is large enough, and it should be a good enough niche where if there's 1 million monthly searches, hopefully I could just get a certain percentage of that and hopefully drive some of that traffic back to my website. As we scroll down here, you're going to see all these different keywords. So this actually pulled over 4,600 different keywords. So what I like to do is add filters, but Google Keyword Planner added this refined keywords. So I usually start there. So I usually start with brand and non-brand. So if we click on the drop down, what I'll do is any store. So I'll get rid of any stores here, keep coming down. So non-brands I'll keep coming down. Other brands, we'll get rid of that, keep coming down. So you can see view 21 more. So I should be fine with all these, getting rid of all of those. So usually stores and brands, I just want to get rid of because I'm not IKEA, I'm not Target, I'm not Home Depot. So I just want to make sure I take those keywords out. So you can see now we're over 3,800. So you can look at some of these different options here. There's amenity, there's material, there's colors, there's different rooms, and then they have others here. I'm not going to get rid of anything else this time, but I am going to add filters. So if I click on add filter, what I like to do is keyword text. So I'll do keyword contains wicker. So if it doesn't contain wicker, I don't want it to be here in this list. So we're going to use text match and click on apply. Okay, so we'll add another filter here. So if we click here to add another filter, you can see some of the different options you have: average monthly searches, competition, ad impression share, organic impression share. So there's a lot of things you can look at, but I'm just going to do average monthly searches, and let's just say greater than or equal to, and I'm just going to do 500 here. So any keyword that has greater than 500 searches, the keyword text contains wicker, I want to click on apply. These are the main keywords I want to start focusing on. So if we click away, you can see now we're down to 147 keywords. So we've really narrowed it down. We can exit this refined keywords here. And if we look, it's going to show keywords by relevance. So these are the ones that I provided. So wicker, wicker furniture, baskets, chairs. If we keep coming down, there's more keywords by relevance. So all I'm going to do here is download keyword ideas. So we're just going to click download keyword ideas and CSV. And that's going to give us a CSV file. So I'm going to open this now. Okay, and this is what our CSV file is going to look like. Now, one of the main questions I always get when I'm using the Google Keyword Planner is why can I only see ranges of data under average monthly searches? The reason is because you're not running an active campaign in your Google Ads account. So my Google Ads account has an active campaign running right now. The budget is just set at $10 per day, but you can create a campaign, set the budget at $1 per day, pause all of your ads, your campaign will never run, and you'll have all the data that's in the Google Keyword Planner. Once you start spending some money on Google Ads, you get all of this data here. Otherwise, they're going to give you ranges of data. So this might say something like 10 to 100,000 average monthly searches. I really don't think you need to focus too much on average monthly searches. So I really just focus on the keyword and trying to find keywords that have just a specific amount of average monthly searches. And then what I do is we'll open up our spreadsheet. So we have my spreadsheet here, and I just take it down to two different columns. So the keyword column and the average monthly searches column. So everything else I just delete. So we'll get rid of currency here. I'm going to get rid of all of this data over here to the right. You can see this goes all the way back to 2016. So we're getting a lot of different data here, average monthly searches for each individual month, and then get rid of this data here as well, delete, and this is all I really want. So you can expand this list very easily. And one of the ways to do that is by going back to the keyword planner. Rather than entering keywords here, what you would do is start with a website. So you're going to go over to start with the website, use the entire website, and you're just going to pick a popular website that's going to be very similar to yours. So enter a competitor website here, or if you already have a lot of content on your website and you're just looking to expand, you're looking to see the most relevant keywords for your website, you can enter your website here as well. So one of the largest websites that I know related to Wickr is wickerparadise.com. So I could just come in here, copy and paste this website and click on get results, use the entire website. So we're going to click on get results. And what you can see here is we still have our filters on. So if you don't want those filters, you're gonna have to click here and actually remove those filters, but I still have keyword text contains Wickr and average monthly searches are greater than or equal to 500. So what I can do is take this data here as well, download the keyword ideas, and then usually what I'll do is I'll download these keyword ideas for this website, maybe enter a few more websites. You keep coming up with spreadsheets like this, and then I just keep copying them and pasting them beneath each other. And then all you need to do is remove duplicates using Microsoft Excel or use the unique function in Google Sheets. So what you can do is come to data. So if you're in Microsoft Excel, you go to data, you take all of this data here, and then all you need to do is right over here, you're going to see data tools. So there's text to columns. This one right here is remove duplicates, delete duplicate rows from a sheet. So if I click on it, it's going to remove any duplicates with keyword or average monthly searches. So we're selecting all, and it's going to look at the keywords that we have and the average monthly searches that we have. Now, since I don't have any duplicates here because I just did one search, it's not going to actually remove them. But if I clicked on OK, it's going to remove duplicates. And let's just say we come back over here to the keyword planner. So this gave me 69 keywords. Before it gave me 147. Let's say I pull another list that gives me another 100. So I put all of those lists together, remove duplicates, and I'm going to have a keyword list somewhere probably between 200 and 300 keywords related to Wickr that I can start with. Now what I've done is I've just taken this exact list here and I have it over here in my SEO spreadsheet. So what I like to do is take my list, so all my keywords, average monthly searches. Again, you don't have to focus too much on average monthly searches here. I could delete this column and it really wouldn't bother me too much. I generally try to focus on keywords that have a higher search volume like wicker chairs, baskets, and furniture. But really what's going to end up happening is you're going to optimize for some of these keywords up at the top that have the most average monthly searches. But most of your traffic is going to come from keywords down here. Some of these long tail keywords where you're getting anywhere between, and I like to use the number 500. So anywhere between 500, 2,000, 4,000 average monthly searches. So if I can rank high for wicker coffee table, that's going to drive me a lot of traffic because this is good search volume for a keyword. So what I generally do is I start to take this data, so this keyword list, and I start to break it down based on some different topics. So what I started with was wicker chairs. And a lot of times you can just use these most popular keywords to come up with some of your topics. Wicker chairs, wicker baskets, wicker furniture, and that's really where I started. So you can see wicker chairs here. So I have all of these keywords related to wicker chairs. Keep coming down, wicker baskets, all of these keywords related to wicker baskets, wicker tables, and then I pulled out some keywords just related to wicker furniture. These don't actually include the word furniture in them, but I want to make sure I don't forget about any of these keywords. I have to kind of go through this again and make sure I have all of the different pieces of furniture here, but this is a pretty good start. And then I still have to do wicker cushions. So just to give you an example, wicker cushions is another thing I need to do. So usually what I'll do is I'll come over here. I like to just search. So I'll just use Control F. You can find. So I'll just search cushions, click on find next. And what you're going to see, cushions for outdoor wicker furniture. So I could take this keyword, copy it, and paste it right in here. Find next, wicker seat cushions. So take this, copy, and paste it right here. So I would just like to try to find all these relevant keywords and put them all together. So here's another one here. We'll come over and we'll paste it again. So that's all I do. And then I create this list and I try to just combine similar keywords into relevant groups. almost like I'm creating ad groups for a Google Ads campaign, but really it's just going to be for search engine optimization. So essentially, a quick recap, pull your keyword list. I use Google Keyword Planner. You can use some of the free keyword tools that are available. Group those keywords together by similar keywords. And I like to use a chart that looks something like this. So this is what my keyword map looks like, and this is a very basic keyword map. You can also add a date here. You can add more information here. Maybe you want to add word count, anything related to your actual content. For me personally, I'm just going to put together a keyword and URL. So what I want to do is map specific URLs to the keywords that I'm optimizing for. So I'll go over this a little bit more in a second, but what I like to do is come up with these groups of keywords. So we have wicker chairs here, and then I come over to my content calendar. Now you can create a really nice looking content calendar. This right here is just looking at dates, content, and then for each piece of content, I put some focus keywords here. Now there's probably gonna end up being more focus keywords, and usually what I'll do when I'm creating content, so for example, let's just use wicker rocking chairs as the example. So if we come over and we come here, I'll start with keywords and just enter wicker rocking chairs. And we're not going to use this domain. We're going to click on get results. We'll get rid of these filters. So we don't want to, we can keep wicker, that's okay, but we'll get rid of average monthly searches. But what you're going to see here is if we're looking at wicker rocking chairs, you could see wicker rocker, outdoor, white wicker rocking chairs, swivel rocker, white wicker rocker. So we still have some brand keywords in here so we could refine the keywords again. Keep coming down, but you're going to see there's a lot of different types of keywords that we can optimize for. Black wicker rocking chairs. So all of these different options, and what we want to do is understand that these long tail keywords that are getting 170, 140, 90, whatever it is, average monthly searches per month, are going to end up driving a lot of traffic to the content that we're creating around that keyword. So that's part of our overall strategy when we're doing our keyword research and we're creating content. So if we come back over here to our spreadsheet, we have our date. So 6/22/2020 is a Monday. So anything that's in bold is a day where we're publishing content. So we have the 22nd. 22nd is a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now you can plan to publish content every single day. It just really depends on how much time you have to spend on the business that you're building, how much time it's going to take to create that content. Some pieces of content might take 10 to 15 hours to create, so you might only be able to publish 2 or 3 pieces of content a week. Now in this case, just starting here from June 22nd, going down to July 31st, focusing on wicker chairs, you can see all of the different pieces of content that we're creating. So I just did 100 plus. I might end up using different titles. So far I have been, so I could always update these pieces of content. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm writing articles that's going to tell people about the different type of, let's just use wicker rocking chairs as an example, while listing all the products for sale that are on my website. Here are some of the focus keywords I can focus on. Again, I would use the Google Keyword Planner to expand this focus keyword list for each individual piece of content. Content types. So I'm going to write a blog post. You can see here another example is video. So for Surfside PPC, a lot of times what I do is I create a video, I write a blog post, and then what you want to do is come up with some type of Facebook and Instagram post, maybe some Pinterest pins, or maybe you want to do a Twitter post. Really depends on the type of content you have and who your audience is, where they're going to end up being. So you can see I have content types. So for example, for this, I could do a blog post, a post that I can use for Facebook and Instagram, and then create Pinterest pins about wicker rocking chairs. So use all of that to promote my content, and then places to share it on my Facebook page, on my Pinterest page, on my Instagram page, and to my email list. So these are all different ways to amplify your content. So looking at steps number 2 and 3, it's going to be keyword research. And what you want to do with your keyword research is create a keyword content map, also just referred to as a keyword map, where you're mapping keywords to individual URLs. And then what you want to do is create a content calendar so you can keep track of the content that you're creating. So basically, if I start on June 22nd, I start creating these articles. By the end of July, I'll have all of my content ready for wicker chairs. So that's going to help me rank for all of these different focus keywords here. Now what I do is I'll take my topics that I put together in the keyword map. So you can see wicker chairs. I have all of my different keywords here under that topic, and I'll put that underneath my content calendar as well, so I know what keywords to optimize for. Once I'm done with wicker chairs, I can move on to baskets. I can move on to tables. I can move on to wicker furniture. I can make sure I'm creating content around all these different keywords that people are typing into Google, so I can be the resource they need when they're looking up wicker furniture. So hopefully that all makes sense. And that's going to be number 2 and 3 is going to be to do keyword research and to plan and start to create content. Okay, so that's going to bring us to number 4, and number 4 is going to be to constantly create content and constantly keep that content up to date, keep improving it, keep it as relevant as possible. So once I create this page, wickerguide.com/wickerrockingchairs, and I put together all of my content. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is listing some of these different products for sale. And then as we come down, it's going to be some different things, why you need wicker rocking chairs, some benefits, how to choose wicker rocking chairs, different styles, different colors that people can choose from. So just a lot of information for people. I'm going to eventually put some more images here of some different rocking chair inspiration, some different ways that people use them in their own backyard or indoors. And I'm also going to list some of those different types of wicker rocking chairs for sale so people can easily find what they're looking for. So some people might be looking for a brown wicker rocking chair with a red cushion. Other people might be looking for a white wicker rocking chair. Other people might be looking for black wicker rocking chairs. So all these different things, I want to make sure that I'm serving them the best possible resource with my content. So that's why you need to constantly improve it. So I'm creating this video on June 16th. You can see I posted this on May 23rd. So what you can do is you start creating content like this, come back to edit your post. So you can see pretty simple the way my post looks. It's just a ton of content. I use different headers to kind of go over some of the different benefits and different information that people need. And what you can do is as you update and improve your article, you're going to see this published on date as May 23rd. You can just come in here and edit it and just change it to June 16th every time you keep an article up to date. So far on this website, all I have is best wicker rocking chairs for sale, and then I have wicker lounge chairs and wicker chase lounges. So this is the same style of blog post. I have some different products for sale. I'm going to have a lot more products in the future, but for right now, I'm just doing this to kind of show an example of how I create content. And then again, why you should buy wicker lounge chairs, some of the benefits, the advantages. So when it comes to creating content, one of the main things I like to do is just seeing what ranks already in Google. So for these types of keywords, it's generally e-commerce websites that have these products for sale. So things like Home Depot, things like Wayfair, Amazon, eBay, Overstock. So all of these different websites, some other furniture websites as well. So that's really who I'm competing with. So in order to compete with them, what I need to do is put together these long guides with a lot of different images, a lot of information, and making sure that I'm touching on all of these different long tail keywords. So as we go through all these keywords, and as I pull more and more keywords, just like I did, for example, with wicker rocking chairs, hitting all these different long tail keywords with my content and trying to answer every question that people might have or serve them the resource that they're looking for. So when it comes to number 4, it's really about putting together as many of these blog posts as possible around your top keywords so that you can start to rank in Google, and the more pages you have, the higher you're going to rank. So if I'm trying to rank for the keyword wicker chairs, for example, then what I need to do is put together a piece of content for all these different categories of wicker chairs. White wicker chairs, wicker egg chairs, wicker lounge chairs. So I've already put together a couple of articles. So what you want to do is start filling out your keyword map as you create your articles. So if we use our wicker rocking chair example, we come over here and let's just say we open up our wicker rocking chairs page, copy the URL, come back to Microsoft Excel. So we'll get rid of this one. And you can see right here, we're going to enter our URL. So it's really that simple. That's all you need to do. So then you know that you have this keyword done. You don't need to create a new piece of content. If you want to update the existing piece of content, then that's what you want to do. And I'll usually do it over here as well. So if we look up wicker rocking chairs, you can see there's one right here. So we'll copy and paste it. And then we can do our Control F again and just do rocking chair, find next. And you can see outdoor wicker rocking chairs. So we'll put that right here, find next. Okay, so we have another one, find next. And I'll do that for every single one on this list. So keep going to find next. So you can see this down here. So this is part of wicker furniture. Again, I'll put it there as well. So keep coming down. So we have this again, keep coming down. So any type of keyword, that's all of them in the list. So you can keep pulling more for wicker rocking chairs. And if you really want to take it a step further, you can create another table over here to the side and just do something like wicker rocking chairs and make sure that you have all of those long tail variations underneath that, and make sure that you have serve people with content about all those different types of keywords, everything that people are looking for. So comprehensive content is one of the most important things when it comes to SEO. Okay, so that's going to be number 4, is just to constantly create content around your keyword research. So use your keyword research to come up with content ideas and then execute that content. So you can see here, I've created this one, wicker rocking chairs. We can put this all in bold. We've done wicker lounge chairs, so that's down here at the bottom. So we can put this all in bold. So then you know what you've completed. Now, usually you want to do this in order. I just ended up putting this in a different order on my content calendar. But that's going to be number 4. And now I need to make sure that I'm putting together content for all of these different keywords here. And if you want some idea of how long everything I put together is, this one right here for rocking chairs that I've gone over in my example, 654 words. So it's a total of 654 words. There's going to end up being over 100 products listed once I add all of them to my website. So I'm still adding Amazon products to my website. But once I'm done doing that, I can make sure they're all listed here. So the way this is as I add them to my website, they're automatically going to be shown in my article. As I remove them from my website, they'll be removed from my article as well. So that's why I like using this right here. It's a Woocommerce Shortcode. The shortcode allows me to dynamically add products to my articles. So you can see I have wicker rocking chairs, I have wicker lounge chairs. So hopefully we can start to rank a little bit for some of these keywords, but I know I need to create a lot more content before Google really sees my website as anything authoritative. Okay, so next is gonna be number 5, and number 5 I'm gonna go through a little bit quicker, but you can see here for my brand Beachfront Decor, I really believe in promoting your content as much as possible on the most relevant social media channels that you can. So if we're looking at Instagram as an example here, you can see with Instagram, we have a following of 11.6 thousand followers. With Pinterest, these are 2 of the main social media channels I focused on. With Pinterest, if we come over to community, 2.3 million monthly viewers and 16.2 thousand followers. So it helps me create pins and also create Instagram posts, and we're also active on Facebook. We have an email list. So all these different things help you promote your content. So that's why I like to do it as part of my content calendar. You could do it as part of your keyword map, but if you look at your content calendar, you can see where you want to share this content to, the different types of content you want to create, so you can make sure that people are understanding that they can go to your website to find whatever it is you're writing about, any of the videos that you're creating. So all of that is really important to share your content, and what it's going to do is help you build an audience. An audience helps share your content as well, and over time, that audience will also link to your content from their own websites, especially if you're creating really high quality content, and those backlinks are going to help you increase your rankings in Google as well. So I just think it's important to build an audience in general because it's going to drive additional traffic back to your website beyond organic search. And every time you're getting a social share, every time you share things out to social media in general, it's not necessarily going to count as a backlink, but doing those things with Facebook, with Instagram, with Pinterest, with Twitter, and the types of social media networks that you choose should really depend on the customers you're trying to reach. For Surfside PPC, I focus a lot on LinkedIn, I focus on Facebook, I focus on Twitter a little bit, I really focus just on YouTube mainly. But when it comes to things like Beachfront Decor or wickerguide.com, it's going to be more Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. So you have to go where people are going to be the most likely to be interested in your content. So number 5 is really just to promote your content. Come up with an idea of how you plan to create content and then promote it after you create it. And a lot of times that just comes down to social media channels and creating blog posts or creating videos or creating social media posts, any of these that are going to be so valuable that people just feel the need to share them. That's really your goal when you're trying to promote your content. Now, I'm not talking about paid promotion at all. I'm really just talking about organic promotion to the audience that you've built. So one of the things you should keep track of is your total following for Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, email, anybody that's following you, your total following that you can always send a piece of content out to, because they're going to end up clicking and driving more traffic to your website. So if you have, let's say, 100,000 people that are following you across all your social media channels, then you have a group of 100,000 that you can send everything out to at once. Now, building that audience is going to take time, just like building content is going to take time, just like building your SEO rankings is going to take time. But that's why you want to do your research with your keywords, create your content. The more content you have, the better your social media channels will be. Okay, so next is going to be number 6, and number 6 is really just about website optimization. So one of the most important things you could start with is your website speed. So you can use a tool like gtmetrics.com. And if you see here on GTmetrix, I'm getting pretty bad performance scores for wickerguide.com. So it's clearly something I need to work on. My page speed score is a D. My Y slow score is an E. So 60% and 52%. But they give me a bunch of recommendations. So basically, if I enable compression, leverage browser caching, and minify JavaScript, I should have no problem increasing my page speed score. So you want everything to basically be a B or above, or really an A or above. You could also look at your Y slow score, and you can see I have a bunch of fails here. So expires headers, fewer HTTP requests, content delivery network. So some of these things I just haven't set up yet on my website. So that's where I'd recommend starting, is just with your overall website speed. You want to make sure everything is loading fast so people can easily use your website. The next thing you really want to focus on is your overall website architecture. So if we look at my shop here, you can see I have wicker furniture, wicker chairs. So you want to make sure that you always have a menu that allows people to get to any of the pages they want to get to very easily. You want to make sure you have a search bar, which I don't have right here at the top corner. So that's something I'm going to need to add, is a search bar up here so people can easily search your website. Another thing, pretty simple, just make sure you implement HTTPS for your website. So you want to get a valid certificate. If you're using Bluehost like I am, so I'm using Bluehost, and you install WordPress, they have a completely free SSL certificate. You just have to install it on your domain and it'll be active forever. So you can see I have a valid certificate here. My connection is secure. So just something to keep in mind as you're trying to improve your overall website and your technical SEO. Now, another main thing to focus on is just the overall organization of your website. If I click on my shop page here, and I'm going to do this with my blog, I'm going to do it when I start creating more and more content, you can see people come to my shop page and there's a subcategory of wicker furniture. There's also a product listing for sale, but if I click on the subcategory, you can see wicker chairs. If I click on wicker chairs, you're going to see wicker rocking chairs and wicker lounge chairs. So people can easily find what they're looking for by going through some of these different categories. Same with the content that you're creating. So if we come back over here, as I create content around wicker chairs, I want to make sure that my articles are linked together. I need to have a huge article about wicker chairs that links to outdoor wicker chairs, wicker rocking chairs, hanging wicker chairs, white wicker chairs, wicker egg chairs, so all these different subcategories. So it's called a topic cluster. So what it is you have a topic and then you have all of these different subtopics. So like rocking chairs, hanging chairs, outdoor chairs, so all of these different subtopics, and you want to link all of these pages back to your main topic page. And then you can use your main topic page to also link to these different pages as well. So it's just going to help with the overall architecture of your website. Internal linking is a best practice when it comes to SEO, because if I'm talking about wicker chairs, there's so many different types. So I want to make sure I'm linking out to my comprehensive guides on chase lounge chairs, on black wicker chairs. So all of these different options there, you want to make sure you're linking out to all of these different pages on your website. So as you can tell, the more pages that I create around these keywords, the higher I'm going to ultimately rank for this main topic keyword here, which is where I have the most average monthly searches. That's really my main focus when it comes to SEO. Now coming back to optimizing my website, so if we come back over to Wicker Guide and let's just come into the back end, as you're creating articles, you want to make sure you're focused on your on-page SEO. So that's why you want to use headers. You want to make sure as you come down here, so I like to use the Yoast Seo Wordpress plugin. And with that, I can set a focus key phrase. I can set my title. I can make sure I set a meta description, which I haven't done yet. And you can look at your SEO analysis. So you're going to see here, recommends an outbound link, recommends a key phrase in the introduction. My key phrase density is too high. It was found 16 times. That's more than a recommended maximum of 13 times. Meta description length, so I have no meta description. Image alt attributes, out of the 7 images on this page, only one has an alt attribute that reflects the topic of your text. So I need to make sure I improve those 5 things, and then all these good results are just things that I want to make sure I have there. So internal links, again, I highly recommend setting up internal links to the different pages on your website. Key phrase length, previously used key phrase, text length. So all of that, you really want to focus on making sure that your content is as optimized as possible and your website is as optimized as possible as well. So your website should be very easy to use. And last but not least, what I highly recommend doing is, if you're using Google Search Console, which you should be using if you're trying to drive SEO traffic, is look at your coverage. So make sure you have valid pages here. You can inspect individual URLs. So I can just come in here and inspect my homepage, just do wickerguide.com and look at my homepage. And you can see here URL is on Google, coverage is submitted in index, mobile usability, page is mobile friendly, and I have a site link search box, 1 valid item. Now what I like to do is come down here to enhancements, and you can look at things like core web vitals. So right now it's saying not enough data for mobile or desktop. If you look at mobile usability, you want to make sure your pages are mobile friendly. Right now I just have 1 valid. So you want to make sure that all of your pages are mobile friendly. You could also just go to the overview and scroll down. You're going to see all these enhancements here, and you'll get more and more enhancements as you continue to build out your website. Again, this is an SEO tutorial for beginners. I don't want to get too technical. My main focus when I'm getting started with a new website is really on content. It's on keywords and content. And then with this, you want to make sure that the technical aspects of your website are all set up properly. You want to make sure your website has a good architecture, a good speed, and it's easy to use by everybody. And when Google is visiting your website, they should be able to seamlessly visit different pages without having a page buried on your website somewhere that's not accessible from anywhere in the menu, anywhere from the home page. So you want to make sure everything is very easily accessed. So that's going to be number 6, is you really want to focus on optimizing your website, making sure that not only that your blog posts are easy to read and set up well for people who are visiting the website, making sure you're linking to some of your different pages down here on the right-hand side. You have a complete menu set up. So I don't have all of these things yet. These are things I still need to work on. And then at the bottom, you can use your footer to link out to different pages as well. So you can link to different categories here. I have some archives. I'll probably change my footer overall, but you can do all of this to make sure that people can easily use your website. Even at the bottom of a post, you might have something like related posts. So you have 6 or 8 related posts here so people can easily find different things on your website. There's different WordPress plugins that will add related links in your articles. So someone comes here to Wicker Lounge Chairs. Maybe they see a link that says shop our complete listing of wicker chairs. So it's just something related that is going to help people visit your website and use it more effectively and more efficiently. So that's going to be number 6. Okay, and last but not least is going to be number 7. So number 7 is build natural backlinks. So I think one of the issues and one of the main problems that I see with SEO is people try to build backlinks before they actually build high quality content. The best possible backlink is someone who finds your content and links to it directly from their website, especially if they have a high quality website. So with Surfside PPC, sometimes when I'm doing research, if I find a high quality piece of content that's going to be helpful for people who are visiting my website, that's going to enhance my own content, I'll link to another website. Now in Google's eyes, that is the best way that you can build a backlink. It's better than any guest blog post. It's better than any type of appearance that you do with anybody else's blog, better than any of the networking channels you've created, is when someone finds a piece of content of yours and they link back to it from their website. That's really your main goal. So I believe that everything else you do up to this point, so optimizing your website, marketing your content, making sure you're focused on planning and creating content and constantly improving it, and again, making sure that you're doing keyword research, all of that and your consistency is going to lead to more backlinks. Now, one of the main factors when it comes to search engine optimization is called EAT. It's EAT, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. So you're going to have to build that up over time, just like you're going to have to build your backlinks up over time, just like you're going to have to build your content and market your content over time. So what you're doing right now is you're really just going to be focused on planning and creating your content around your keyword research. That's the main thing that I would focus on more than anything else. Now, measuring results is important. Making sure you're constantly improving your content is important. But if you're not consistently creating new content around your keywords, if let's just say, for example, we come over to my content calendar, and you can see here, I've already put together a couple different articles, wicker lounge chairs, wicker rocking chairs. Let's just say I create all of this content and I do it all by the 15th of July. So then what I can do is start creating content around wicker baskets by the middle of July. If I do all that, the faster that I create high quality content, the faster and the higher that I'm going to rank in Google for more and more keywords, especially if I'm creating really long articles that's focusing on multiple keywords for each article. So taking all those relevant keywords for an article, so outdoor wicker chairs, wicker patio chairs, any other relevant keyword there, and making sure I'm focusing on them, that's going to help me rank the highest, the fastest. If there's any takeaway that you can have here. So you really want your website to be easy to use. You want to make sure you're creating professional, high quality content that people can easily access. But really what you want to be doing more than ever is planning and creating your content and staying consistent over time. The websites that are driving the most search engine traffic have been around for 5, 10, 15 years. So if you have a little bit of, you're delayed, you're behind, you're going to be behind your competitors because they have years and years of experience and a head start on you. But what you need to do is just be consistent, and you're going to end up improving your rankings over time. And then as you improve, what you can do is set your benchmarks, do a competitive analysis, and try to find areas of improvement for your own website. And that's the main goal of SEO, in my opinion. Now, there's a lot of technical aspects of SEO that I did not get to in this video. The reason being because there's different technical aspects of SEO that different companies should focus on. So if you're a recipe company, you should focus on creating rich recipe results. If you're an e-commerce website, you need to be focused on creating good product rich results. So your structured data, your schema markup, all of those different things are going to vary depending on the type of website you're creating. So if I can teach you anything from all of this, it's focus on content, focus on keywords. So if you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments section. I'm going to end up going back and I'm going to be working on this website, wickerguide.com, and I'm going to try to put this information and try to apply it for my own website and then show you the growth over time. So if we come back over here to the Google Search Console and you look for my website, beachfrontdecor.com, you can see over the last 3 months, I've been able to really increase clicks. And over a 3-month period, just based on Google Search Console data, I'm actually driving more organic search traffic than this number, but I've driven almost 95,000 total web search clicks, according to Google Search Console. Now there's more in Google Analytics because I get traffic from other search engines and I actually get more traffic from Google than this is showing, but it's really good for me. I'm driving over 1,000 clicks per day on average now, and that helps me drive a lot more revenue for my business. And all of that is just focusing on the things that I've taught you in this video. So again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. Thanks for watching my video today, and make sure you subscribe to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel.